Hello, everybody, and welcome to the University of Denver Soccer Stadium in Denver, Colorado. It is match day 5 of MLS Next Pro as the undefeated, unblemished Colorado Rapids 2 play host to St. Louis City 2. Sean St. Jacques, happy to be with you here on MLSNextPro.com. Rapids 2 are the lone unbeaten team in the league. St. Louis City 2 in search of their first win of the campaign. And we expect it to be a very exciting clash here at University of Denver Soccer Stadium. First time that Rapids 2 have been here this year. They play here every once in a while, and it'll be an exciting match for sure. Colorado Rapids 2 have a chance to go to the top of the table. They have a game in hand on the current Western Conference leaders, Austin FC 2. A win would be enough to take them to the top of the table. St. Louis City 2 can make up quite a bit of ground if they can get their first win of the season and move up from their current spot in 13th place. Let's dive into the starting lineups for both teams. Of course, again, Rapids 2, 4 wins out of 4 to start this campaign under Eric Boucher. They had a tough finish to the season a year ago, though finished rather strong before we got to the postseason. This is the team that gets put out there. Remy Cabral will lead the front line along with a really strong triumvirate. Harris Mitchell has been playing well of late, as has Oliver Larraz, and it's a good midfield led by Doda Amadou and Robinson Aguirre. Bobby Murphy's 11 for St. Louis City 2 looks like this. Caden Glover, one of the first teamers, leads a strong attack at the front of this 11. Max Schneider and Juan Kazane in the midfield, along with John Klein, hope to bolster things there. And Owen O'Malley, along with Fritz Volmar, lead a strong back line in front of one of the best goalkeepers so far this season in Next Pro, Christian Oliveras. St. Louis City 2 hoping to get their first victory of the campaign. They're in their whites. They will kick us off from left to right here. Corbin May, he's our center official. Colorado Rapids 2 are in their maroons with the light blue trim, looking to make it 5 wins out of 5 to start this season. Again, Rapids 2 a bit up and down during the 2022 campaign. Had a good finish under Eric Boucher, but the start to this season has really been turning heads around the league. And here at the University of Denver Soccer Stadium, they are hoping to continue the good times at the beginning of this campaign. In the middle, Faisal Batachi, he's going to kick us off along with John Klein. And we just await the whistle from Corbin May. St. Louis City 2 in search of their first win. They are the ones that get us started here in Denver, Colorado. 57 degrees at kickoff. Picture perfect postcard soccer weather for us today here on MLSNextPro.com. Sean St. Jacques, happy again to have you with us. We get to see Colorado Rapids 2 put their unblemished record to the test. St. Louis City 2, of course, having that tremendous campaign a season ago where they were the Western Conference regular season champions and, of course, got to the final before losing to eventual champions Columbus Crew 2. It's been a sluggish start to the season, but Bobby Murphy is hoping that this could be a statement game for them to really kick off this campaign. Colorado Rapids 2 coming off a 2-0 victory over Earthquakes 2 last time out on match day 4. And it was a 2-0 defeat for St. Louis City 2 against Austin, who are currently at the top of the Western Conference, hoping that they can continue to keep pace with Rapids 2, especially if Rapids 2 are able to win this game tonight. They would be at top of the table, and again, Austin has played 1 game more than Rapids 2. It's why this game is big for Eric Boucher's group this early in the season. They're at the top of the MLS Next Pro Power Rankings. Rapids 2, again, unblemished. They have not dropped points this season. Haven't had to go to any kicks from the spot scenarios as of yet. And we will see how they deal with Bobby Murphy's group. St. Louis City 2 does have the 1 point they gained from a draw and then a loss in a kicks from the spot situation on match day 1 against the always difficult Tacoma Defiance. Game finished 1-1. Tacoma won 5-4 on spot kicks. But since then, it's been 3 straight defeats for St. Louis City 2. But no better time than the present to change that vein of form for the visitors. They're on the front foot here. Ball is flared into the penalty area. John Klein's touch He's cut out, and the visitors have a throw-in on the near side. He's thrown in a twisting clearance by Blake Malone. Sees it go out for a throw on this near side. Well, the big message from Eric Boucher to the media this week was just keeping the momentum going. Really, that was the #1 thing. Still stuff to work on. There's still facets of the game as far as the way that Rapids 2 like to play that Eric Boucher and his group are still trying to work on in the days and weeks ahead. But can't ask for much better of a start. You actually literally can't ask for much better of a start. 4 wins out of 4, and they beat some rather difficult opposition along the way. Timbers 2, Sporting KC 2, beat Houston Dynamo 2 away from home, a place that has been so difficult to go since MLS Next Pro started a season ago. One of the fortresses, St. Louis City 2, are on the front foot here. It's a shot that is blasted over the top by Owen O'Malley. And it goes over the top of Marco Illich's goal and out for a goal kick. Well, John Klein has had some early forays forward here for City 2, but in the end, O'Malley couldn't quite keep his shot down. That's a misplaced pass. Pressure from John Klein leads to a throw-in for St. Louis City 2 that O'Malley will take charge of. And again, just to finish the point on Rapids 2's start to the season, the win over Earthquakes 2 on the road stands out as well, because it was a clean sheet for Eric Boucher's group. Eric Boucher said to us this week that last year, Rapids 2 had 1 clean sheet all season. Only took them 4 games this year to get on the board in that category, and that could be a really good sign for Rapids 2 going forward. At times last year, and again, there were moments and stretches where Rapids 2 were able to figure it out on the defensive end last year, but it was the inconsistency at that end of the pitch that cost them valuable points that maybe could have put them in the playoff conversation a year ago. Give Eric Boucher, his players, and his staff credit. They have already begun to address it this season, and to go on the road to Earthquakes 2 and get a clean sheet really stands out early in this campaign, on top of the fact that they haven't dropped any points. Ball is deflected in the midfield. A little bit of a late challenge comes in. Corbin May gives a free kick for the visitors here. Early shot from Owen O'Malley that was skied over the bar has been the best chance so far in these early minutes. Rapids 2 still trying to find a decent spell of possession at the start of this game. Amadou did well under pressure there for the hosts. Alex Gersbach playing it forward. It was Oliver Larraz who ends up getting dispossessed here. And in the end, it's a sliding challenge by Malone. It's the concession of a throw on the near side for St. Louis City 2. Had a great conversation with Bobby Murphy, the St. Louis City 2 coach, earlier this week. Talked about the bonding that's been going on with this group, staying the course as well, seeing certain players improve and develop even during the tough results. But it's great to just hear him talk about the way that this group has dealt with the early adversity and continued to stay the course and continue to push to get back on track. And again, it's a tough bar to try and meet from last season for Bobby Murphy and his group in his first season here in charge. Not only winning the Western Conference regular season title, but getting to the final to represent the West in the first ever Next Pro final. St. Louis City 2 still has high expectations for this season, and they're hoping this could be the foundation Fritz Volmar at the back controls. Michael Vetznel. There's support in the middle, but Schneider was stood up. It goes all the way back to Christian Oliveras. Olivares, 8 saves in the last game for St. Louis City 2. Their loss against Austin FC 2 is now tied for 5th in the league with 12 saves this season in MLS Next Pro. Malone. He's it near side for Gersbach. Good pressure here from St. Louis City 2. They win it back high up the field. Ball was crossed just on the outskirts of the penalty area. Kazane is able to keep it in. He floats it into the middle, and Marko Ilic reads it rather well and stifles the attack. His outlet ball isn't bad either. In the end, Remy Cabral, formerly of Los Dos, couldn't quite track it down. It is deflected out for a throw. It's interesting to hear Eric Boucher talk about Remy Cabral. Just talked about how versatile he is. He's a piece that still has to kind of get integrated into the style of play that Rapids 2 like to utilize. But certainly the sky's the limit for him. We always saw some great moments from him in years past. Amadou is pressured, gives it away. More good pressure from the visitors. They've been winning the ball back rather quickly before Rapids 2 can really rev up the engines in the attack. Itachi. For Vetznal. Pass into the middle was cut out by Aguirre. It's well shepherded by Connor Miller, able to make sure that St. Louis City 2 can't pick up any of the scraps. Deflected though into the path of Klein. Klein takes aim, and in the end he skies it over the top. That's what Bobby Murphy will be hoping for. High winds up the field to start quick counterattacks. Trying to catch Rapids 2 out. But frankly, everywhere on the pitch so far, Rapids 2 haven't been able to really hold on to the ball for any sustained period of time. And the visitors have been off to a good start here in the first 9.5 minutes. Ball is flared forward by Daniel Garcia. That takes a deflection, stays in play. Well dealt with by Volmar in the end. Got maybe a bit of a fortunate bounce. Itachi stood up. Good recovery run by Amadou, and Rapids 2 can reset at the 10-minute mark. Aguirre. Plays it across. It's the third all-time meeting between these two. Played twice, home and away, a season ago. Rapids 2 and St. Louis City 2 drew in the first meeting. Had to go to spot kicks, which St. Louis City 2 won 4-3. To grab 2 points from the first encounter, but then Rapids 2 returned the favor in the reverse fixture and won 2-1 last July. One piece of good news for Rapids 2 coming into the game is that initially Dylan Cerna was listed as out with a knee injury. He does make the bench tonight for Rapids 2. He was dealing with a few injuries last season as well. Kept him out for quite some time. Really talented midfielder. We'll see if Eric Boucher will play him tonight. That'd be such a big moment to see him back out there for the hosts. Robinson Aguirre has his pocket picked. Late whistle comes in from Corbin May. It's a free kick. Well, St. Louis City 2 thought they may have been on their way there, but the whistle halts their progress. Blake Malone and company can reset. Ball was played into the path of Aguirre. Malone has to retrieve it. Good pressure from Klein. Illich, cool as a cucumber to get out of that situation. Under immense pressure. One wrong move, and that could have been the opening goal. And Rapids 2 build some momentum off of that. Aguirre leaves it for Garcia. Nice ball down the line by Mitchell. Chance maybe here for Miller. And Miller does win a corner out of it. It's a set piece opportunity for Rapids 2. Paris Mitchell scored his first ever professional goal against Earthquakes 2 last time out. Nice run from him there. Set piece opportunity for Eric Boucher's boys to potentially take the lead in the early going. Robinson, Aguirre will send in an in-swinger. The center of the penalty area it goes. A couple of heads got a touch to it. It is going to run out of play and will stay with Rapids 2. Visitors did get a nudge onto that with 3 maroon shirts waiting for it inside the penalty area. Oh, that's lovely skill to get inside the penalty area once more by Larraz, but he stood up before the 6-yard box. And St. Louis City 2 do clear their lines there. Chance for Rapids 2 to recycle it. Amadou, back for Garcia. Murphy's group, though, continues some token pressure, and it leads to a misplaced ball up front, and it is turned back over. Half chances so far for Allen and O'Malley. Beg your pardon, Klein and O'Malley. Been the closest either side have come so far. Miller is brought down, and it's a free kick. Larraz. Got to hear from him this week as well. Talked about just continuing to try and improve while maintaining the levels that his team has set as this trickles out of play for a goal kick. This portion of the match is brought to you by UC Health. With personalized care and locations across Colorado, UC Health is here for you no matter where your story takes you. UC Health, live extraordinary. Oliveris will take the goal kick, beg your pardon. Falls for Rivas. Rivas looking down the line. Batachi flaring it into the path, potentially here of Klein. Nearly fell for a chance there. It's really good backtracking and clearance by that Rapids 2 back line. Well timed, it needed to be. And that's a foul and a free kick against Max Schneider. That really allows Rapids 2 to take a breath. Lovely interplay on the far side from St. Louis City 2. Nearly played John Klein and company in behind. Could have been one-on-one with Marco Illich. Bit of a slip there on the far side. Oh, it's going to be a late foul call here and a free kick. Yellow card is out. And it's going to be given to Juan Zacane. I'd be curious to see that maybe if we can again, but there was a slip that led to that. And Juan Zacane maybe leaves a boot in there. And there's the confirmation of Kazane's booking. First booking of the match. It is a free kick. Well, to be fair, Steve Flores got the worst of that. He's still a little shaken up as he's about to restart the play for Rapids 2. I think it was tough because there was a lot going on that play for Corbin May to deal with. A couple of slips, a collision. Our center referee was on top of it. Sent forward by Garcia. Good touch by Amadou in the midfield. He has help through Gersbach. Gersbach's pass is a little off target, and Malone has to clear it out for a throw, and St. Louis City 2 love every second of that. More good pressure from them. Klein off the throw. Alazzolo thought about sending it forward, although his pass back is a little wayward. Dealt with defensively by Fritz Volmar. Pencil for O'Malley. And O'Malley's pass is cut out by Gersbach. Now Amadou, beg your pardon, Cabral, able to control it, but it is tucked in behind and out for a throw. Pencil and company have been keeping a rather tight ship back there to start this game. Larraz trying to find the key to open them up. But rolls kindly for Patachi. And City 2 can reset. Ball is flared in behind. Steve Flores is dragged down. And it is a free kick given in the end in favor of Colorado Rapids 2. Rapids 2, the only undefeated team left in the league. Mentioned it earlier. First in the MLS Next Pro Power Rankings this week, and how can you not put them in that top spot? The only unblemished side remaining in the league. Perfect 4 wins out of 4. Again, Austin FC2 are in first place right now in the West, but again, this is the game in hand that Rapids 2 has to potentially eclipse them at the top. 5 wins from 5 would be just what the doctor ordered for Rapids 2 after the up and down season they had a year ago. And again, St. Louis City 2 had such a great campaign last year. 15 wins, 3 draws that went to spot kicks, and just the 6 defeats. Won the West regular season title, contested the first ever league final. Last year just seemed to be Columbus Crew 2's year from the get-go. That's how it played out. Dazzling stuff in the midfield there from Rapids 2. Larraz has help on the overlap. Gersbach across the face of goal. It was just flared out by Rivas. Second chance for Larraz, and it's palmed over the top by Olivares and out for a corner. Golden opportunity for Larraz to open the scoring, and it's a wonderful point-blank save from Olivares. Another look at it here. Oh, it may have stung the bar. Olivares wasn't to know. If it did, it may have bounced right down on the line. Olivares makes a phenomenal save at point-blank range, and it leads to a Rapids 2 corner. Aguirre. As Rapids 2 tried to find the opening goal. Aguirre whips it in. Again, it's dangerous, but Wenzel is there to head it out of trouble. And Flores will not take any chances. They'll restart all the way back with Illich. Illich picked his head up, thought there was a runner on the far side. Pass is going to roll all the way back to Oliveris. And St. Louis City 2, after really heightening the tempo at the start of this game, are going to take a beat after a nice spell from Rapids 2. Starting to get glimpses of why they've been off to such a good start. Ooh, it's a lovely ball over the top. Illich had to get there. Gets his head to it. He was well out of the penalty area. Klein nearly in behind all by himself. Goalkeeper does his job and gets plenty on it. The ball rolls through for Cabral, who's in an offside position, and the attack fizzles out. This portion of the match is brought to you by Toyota. Let's go places. Sean St. Jacques here with you, MLSNextPro.com. Second in the West, taking on 13th on match day 5. It's been a really fun weekend so far. Some great moments, some late drama. Here's Klein, crossing it into the middle. Flores chests it down into space. Up ahead for Connor Miller. Miller and Mitchell have been bright spots for Rapids 2 so far this season. Talked about Mitchell's first ever pro goal last time out against Earthquakes 2. Miller's been strong to start this campaign as well. Ball trickled out of play on the near side. Those that have been following Rapids 2 this season, the biggest miss tonight is Hanya, who is out, not with the team. 4 goals this season, actually scored in every game Rapids 2 has played so far this season. So we'll see how Rapids 2 are able to cope without their leading goal scorer. Batachi, lovely ball threaded through, might be just a step too far ahead of Kazane, and it's going to roll out for a goal kick. Well, Yosuke Hanya, 4 goals in 4 games, somebody that you'd love to have available in a game like this, but again, there's so many moving parts in MLS Next Pro. But to be fair to Rapids 2, Eric Boucher's group, even last year when they went through their struggles, relied on the collective to get the job done in games. So it is that next man up mentality that you hear coaches in the league talk about all the time, especially when you're moving so many players around up and down and in between throughout the season. Really is, in every sense of the word, a team effort. There are certainly other big-time players out there for Rapids 2 that can make an impact. Mitchell and Malone are 2 of them. Remy Cabral has been a very big talent. We've already seen some good glimpses from Oliver Larraz as well. Oliveris was the one who denied him from point-blank range just a few moments ago. And Oliveris nearly got himself into trouble there. Good pressure from Rapids 2, but the keeper lives to tell the tale. Batachi. Chance for Kazane to assess his options. Played centrally for Schneider. Schneider is tied for 13th in the league with 8 interceptions so far this season, cleaning things up in the midfield as that pass is astray, looking for John Klein down this near channel. Laraz touched past him by Klein, who's been very active so far. Batachi, Alazono, all the way back for Wenzel. Wenzel tries to slice through the back line, can't quite find a teammate, it's cut out. Rapids too quickly on the counterattack here. Laraz had a chance to maybe thread it through for Cabral. Laraz keeps on going here, and still, and it's a crucial last-ditch challenge from Volmar. He nearly waltzed his way all the way into the goal. Laraz, crucial last-ditch defending from St. Louis City 2. Lovely cutback there. He's then pushed in the back, and it nearly fell for him after deflected off of Wenzel. Crucial work there from Volmar to just concede the corner. Laraz really stayed with it. Laraz will also take the corner. Service to the back post, header is down, Oliveras palms it, and the second attempt is wide of the goal. The service was pinpoint into the penalty area here. Thumping header comes in, and Amadou is the one who's denied by Oliveras, and the second attempt misses the target. Best chance for either side so far. Two big saves for Christian Oliveras. And St. Louis City 2 stay on level terms. It's miraculous stuff from the goalkeeper. And more encouraging signs in the attacking third for the hosts. Now Klein trying to shovel it forward. In the end, it's too far for anyone in a white shirt. Easy enough for Illich. This portion of the match is brought to you by Dick's Sporting Goods. Every season starts at Dick's. Ball deflects out of play. It's a St. Louis City 2 throw-in. Very vibrant stuff from John Klein, number 41 in white, at the beginning of this game. He's been in the middle of all of it for Bobby Murphy's group. Although they've been under siege the last couple of minutes. And help themselves out with a little bit of possession here. Volmar, who bailed out St. Louis City 2 with that last-ditch clearance out of the penalty area on a great run from Oliver Laraz. Malone sees Robinson Aguirre, and again 14 minutes left in this first half, still awaiting the breakthrough moment. A slicing pass, St. Louis City 2, brilliantly done to win it back. Klein's on the chase. Cross into the middle, nearly falls for Batachi, and it is slashed away. This falls for Laraz. Two players in his way, and he stood up. Batachi able to thread it through for Glover. Back for Batachi. Caden Glover keeps it in play, but it's back with Rapids 2 in possession. Amadou plays it forward for Aguirre. Miller. It's played out to that far side, and Batachi again gets his way back onto the ball. Nice little flick forward for Klein. Back for Batachi. Lovely interplay. In tight quarters on that far side. Glover for O'Malley, who runs onto it and sends it out of the stadium. Almost the same spot that he took aim from inside the first 3 minutes, and it ended up being the same result. Sent forward by Illich. Chance for Cabral briefly to get on the end of that. Oliveras, who's been one of the stars of the first half, was able to come up with it after it was shielded to him by Michael Wenzel. 2 big saves from Oliveras, no question about that. Both at basically point-blank range. At least the first one was. The second one was a tough bouncing header from Amadou off a set piece. And then the second opportunity in that sequence was cleared away. Now a counter-attack opportunity led by Klein. Glover takes aim, and Illich down to his right makes a good save. Swift counter-attacking soccer there from St. Louis City 2. Worth another look. Klein, who's been vibrant all half. Glover thought, why not try it? Tough angle. And Illich is able to close it down and corral it. It's been the first real spell we've seen from Caden Glover. But he has certainly once again shown what he is capable of in the attacking third. Aguirre spinning away and dragged back. Free kick for Rapids 2. This is Dauda Amadou. Over the top for Larraz after a cheeky first touch off the back of his heel. He sees it get deflected out off of him by his opposite number, O'Malley. And out for a goal kick. Boy, he almost played that beautifully into his own path after a wonderful ball over the top of the defense. In the end, it's good recovery play from Owen O'Malley on the back end. And it needed to be, as it's had to be on multiple times for St. Louis City 2. The defending needed to be spot on at times for Bobby Murphy's bunch, and it has been. Keep the score where it is at 0-0. Amadou once more. 9 minutes left in the half. Can one of these two find the opening goal to really send this contest and take it up a few notches? Good defensive work in that midfield. Gersbach's had a good half for the hosts. Trying to break up the play. It's recycled around here for Volmar on the far side. Beg your pardon, Rivas. Now Klein. Zolo over the top. Glover trying to reach out a boot to control it. In the end, Marco Illich, he's able to come up with it. Miller tried to find Larraz. Referee says ball was played cleanly there. Kazane can't quite get it past 2 defenders there, Amadou and Malone. Now Gersbach down the line for Larraz. Larraz is tripped up. It is a foul and a free kick. Michael Wenzel is going to see yellow here for that challenge. Second player to be booked here for the visitors in the first half, and I think there can't be too many arguments with the challenge, although we get another look at it here. Pretty clear cut. And Corbin May did what he had to do, the center official. And he takes Bensel's name. Ross won the set piece. It's Gersbach who joins him to take it. Good late opportunity here for Eric Boucher's group. The end of this first half, towards the end of the first half, still 7 minutes left in it. Potentially some stoppage time on the back end. Aguirre is a shorter option for Larraz. Larraz from the set piece. Lots of bend and whip on it. In the end, no one could get their heads to it, and it's out for a goal kick. Had the right idea, put it in a very dangerous position, just a whisker too high for the maroon shirts that tried to get off their feet to get ahead to it. Talked about Christian Oliveras and his exploits so far this season. The Rapids 2 goalkeeper situation has certainly been interesting, although Illich might be called upon here. Klein with a misplaced pass. It's going to trickle out of play. Abraham Rodriguez in 3 matches had a 0.86 goals against average. Got hurt in the last game. And Diego Garola had to step in, made 4 big saves against Earthquakes 2. It is Garola who's on the bench as the backup tonight for Rapids 2, but it is Marko Illich, the first teamer, that does get the start. It goes to show the depth in that position that Rapids 2 have at their disposal. Larraz cut it out initially. Ball is floated in for O'Malley, sent out by Gersbach, and it is a throw-in with 5 minutes of the 45 remaining in half number 1. Was Garola's, just to finish up the point there. It was his pro debut, came in the 26th minute of that game against Earthquakes 2, but boy did he make a difference for Rapids 2. That's 3 goalkeepers in this system that Eric Boucher now can have some confidence in, can rely on in big spots throughout the season, and potentially bigger things with the first team down the road. That's the big golden ticket everyone's in search for, of course, but can't knock the success that this level provides on top of that. Ball is floated forward. Cabral, I think, is going to be ruled offside here. Or maybe not. This might be brought all the way back before we even got to that point. Might have been some follow through there. Referee stayed on top of it. It's going to be brought all the way back for a Rapids 2 free kick. Aguirre. And he swung back around to Malone. Gersbach, first ball forward for Cabral to chase. He's harried. 3 players around him. He's able to get it away. Gersbach with a late challenge there, and he didn't quite get the ball, did he? Alex Gersbach is going to be booked for that challenge. It's Remy Cabral, who was pressured initially. We'll see it there. He just kind of releases it to get rid of it. Gersbach trying to make up for him there. A late challenge on Faisal Batachi. Confirmation of the booking there for Gersbach. Good fall here for John Klein. Swept away by Flores. Can one of these two find a late first half strike? Gained some big time momentum. Rapids 2 have had the best 2 chances of the half. Olivares denied them on both attempts. St. Louis City 2 have had some good half chances. And did force one save out of Illich on the strike from Caden Glover in transition. That's been their best chance of the half so far. Thrown in by Gersbach. Miller for Flores. Ooh, some more slipping in the middle of the park there, and then that's another late challenge, this time from Amadou. Amadou is going to see yellow here as well.
Rapids 2, yellow card at the 44th minute.
This is what the pressure that St. Louis City 2 has provided can lead to. It's just a mistimed challenge, although Amadou disagreed with the referee's decision. Good sportsmanship between Amadou and Schneider, the two involved in the challenge. The looks kind of show you that Amadou maybe a fraction late there. Didn't quite time it up correctly. And it's a late free kick for St. Louis City 2 right at the end of the half. Batachi will take aim. Lots of defenders to deal with. St. Louis City 2 in the penalty area. Batachi whips it in towards the back post, and it was aimed at Schneider, but it went over the top and out for a goal kick. Schneider was trying to redirect that centrally, it appeared, but Batachi's ball just a fraction too firm. And we do enter stoppage time at the end of the first half. Told there's going to be 1 minute of injury time. And it appears that is what is the case. Larraz, who had his header palmed off the bar, and Olivares. And Amadou had a bouncing header that Olivares was just able to keep from going into the back of the net on a set piece later on. Really, Christian Olivares has been the star that has shined brightest so far, but maybe St. Louis City 2 can have one final say at the end of the half here. Batachi out wide for Klein. Klein with 2 men on him. He stood up by Flores. Flores wins the free kick. Klein gets a talking to from Corbin Mayo, or I should say maybe Flores there is the one that's getting the instruction. And that's how the half ends here in Denver. 2 big saves from Christian Olivares. Keeps it level at 0-0. There were certainly some good opportunities for the visitors as well in this first half. Good pressure from St. Louis City 2 at times throughout the half. Rapids 2 dealt with it. They had the better of the half, I think, after about 20 minutes, and certainly had the 2 best chances. Our score at the half is 0-0. Friday night, we had 2 matches finish with 1-0 victories for the road side. Matchday 5 kicked off in New England. And in the 72nd minute, Revs 2's Santiago Suarez commits a foul in the box against Red Bulls 2, which leads to a penalty for Oladayo Thomas, who finds the back of the net. That's 2 straight 1-0 wins for Red Bulls 2, jumping that side to 4th in the East, entering today's games on match day 5. Great to see that for Red Bulls 2. In the West, Real Monarchs and North Texas SC appear to be headed to a shootout, but a 90-plus 5th minute Monarchs goal from Moses Nyman from 23 yards out earns them all 3 points. Both of the Monarchs wins have been 1-0 road results this season. They return home to face Portland next Sunday. Huge win for Jamison Olave's group. And then on Saturday night, Atlanta United 2's Nick Firmino got a goal off a turnover to the press in the 10th minute, capping off a nice night for him. He had a tap-in goal as well in the 84th minute for a brace as United 2 took down Chicago Fire FC2 in Kennesaw. Atlanta jumps 3 spots in the Eastern table with that result. Big-time stuff from Nick Firmino, who gets a brace and had a tremendous night for Atlanta United 2 in Kennesaw. That's what we have seen so far in match day 5. Now let's take a look back at the best we saw from match day 4 in this week's installment of the Spotlight.
One month into the MLS Next Pro season, and the spotlight seems to be getting even brighter. Here we round up all of the players who stood out following match day 4, starting with the coveted MLS Next rising star of match day 4, Philadelphia Union 2's David Vasquez. The 17-year-old's 81st minute goal not only gave Union 2 their first win of the season, but it also made history in the process. Vasquez will go down in the record books for scoring the 1,000th goal in MLS Next Pro regular season history. The Philadelphia Academy product already made an impact with the U.S. men's youth national team and is certainly poised to have a similar impact on Union 2 this season. The MLS Next Pro Player of the Week for match day 4 is a player who helped his team score for. LA Galaxy 2's Aaron Bibu put on a hat-trick performance in their win over a top 10 Whitecaps FC2 team. His 3-goal showing was the first of the season and the first since August 7th of last year by Schneider Borgelin of Inter Miami FC2. The former hat-trick star is now a first-team contracted player. And on a week where there were plenty of goals to choose from, the best goal of match day 4 goes to Sporting Kansas City 2's Lucas Rosa. He beat out his teammate Sebastian Cruz with a strike from well beyond the 18-yard box that sailed past 10 Real Monarchs defenders and their keeper. His 57% share of the poll marks the highest percentage of the best goal of match day votes to date. The team of match day 4 honor goes to a very deserving Austin FC2 team, a team who played 2 games in 5 days and posted 2 clean sheets and 5 goals. Birdos continued their excellent MLS Next Pro season debut by showing strength on both sides. Damian Lass and the defense have only allowed 3 goals on the season, and offensively, Birdos can score and do so quickly. They managed 3 goals in 5 minutes against North Texas this week and 2 in 22 versus St. Louis. Their 3-game win streak has rocketed them to the top of the Western Conference standings. Congrats to all of our players who made it in the spotlight this week. We'll see you right back here for Who Stood Out following match day 5.
Oh, really good stuff there on match day 4. Match day 5 has certainly provided us with some great stuff as well. We look ahead here to match day 6, some good matchups coming up. The defending champions Crew 2 host Inter Miami 2 on Sunday. Real Monarchs, what a big win for them last time out. They host Timbers 2 next. Los Angeles Football Club 2 with a big home match coming up as well. So a lot of good games in the West. The East, not too shabby either. Now then, as it's 0-0 at the half here in Denver, first half highlights and stats are coming up later, but first, let's meet one of the top players to watch in MLS Next Pro, Colorado's Daniel Chacon.
Hola, ¿qué tal? Bienvenidos a la segunda temporada de MLS Next Pro. Soy Samara Pérez. El día de hoy nos acompaña un seleccionado nacional de Costa Rica y uno de los jugadores a seguir en esta temporada de MLS Next Pro. Él es Daniel Chacón de Colorado Rapids 2. Daniel, bienvenido y muchas gracias por estar con nosotros el día de hoy.
Bueno, muchas gracias a ustedes por el espacio y bueno, feliz de estar compartiendo acá un rato con ustedes para que la gente también conozca un poco más de quién soy y bueno, un poco de mi vida.
Claro, ya que mencionas eso, queremos conocer más sobre ti. Sabemos que llegar a ser un futbolista profesional no es nada fácil. ¿Cuáles han sido algunos de los retos a los que te has enfrentado y que has podido superar en este camino?
Bueno, creo que al principio de mi carrera, en la primera división de Costa Rica, no tuve mucha regularidad. Pasó toda una temporada que solo jugué un partido y después de esa temporada pasé un año completo sin jugar. Entonces fue una prueba de paciencia, de perseverancia, de trabajo, que creo que ha sido como mi principal virtud, más allá de cualquier argumento futbolístico. Entonces creo que la paciencia y pues la resiliencia para poder sobreponerse de momentos complicados creo que ha marcado mucho parte de mi carrera.
Daniel, formaste parte de la Selección Nacional de Costa Rica. ¿Cómo te sentiste cuando recibiste esa convocatoria?
Bueno, muy feliz. Había tenido la oportunidad de compartir con la selección, pero no en convocatorias oficiales, hasta que llegó me parece que la penúltima fecha eliminatoria para el Mundial de Qatar, que tuve la oportunidad de ya estar con la selección y debutar en el Estadio Azteca contra México. Creo que para mí y para prácticamente cualquier jugador, creo que el orgullo más grande que existe es ponerse la camisa de la selección y poder jugar partidos de ese nivel.
¿Y cómo ha sido tu experiencia con la selección nacional de tu país?
Creo que hasta el momento todo ha sido muy positivo. He tenido, como le digo, la experiencia, la oportunidad de jugar partidos muy importantes, de mucho nivel, en contra de muy grandes jugadores, ya sea contra México, también tuve la oportunidad de jugar contra Canadá en las eliminatorias, contra Estados Unidos. Entonces creo que esto te da una experiencia y te da una confianza diferente para afrontar los nuevos retos que vienen en su carrera con más seguridad y con más optimismo, habiéndose probado uno a estos niveles.
Daniel, casi 40 jugadores de MLS Next Pro han firmado un contrato con un equipo de Major League Soccer. Cuando escuchas esto, ¿cómo te motiva para jugar con Rapids 2?
Bueno, creo que esa es la principal, mi principal enfoque de estar acá. Creo que el paso acá por Colorado Rapids 2, espero que sea de mucho provecho, de mucho aprendizaje, pero también ojalá tener la aspiración de salir de acá lo más rápido posible y aspirar siempre a lo más alto. Creo que sería un error estar conformándose con el lugar donde usted está, y creo que siempre es bueno y habla bien de usted el querer más. Entonces me lo tomo con mucho positivismo el paso por acá, pero claramente teniendo en mente un contrato con el primer equipo y poder competir en MLS.
Y por último, ¿qué es lo que más esperas de tu primera temporada con tu equipo en MLS Next Pro?
Bueno, creo que en mi primera temporada no solo se resume a lo futbolístico, es mi primera vez lejos de mi país, en una nueva experiencia. Entonces creo que esto me va a ayudar mucho para madurar como persona, como jugador, y claramente estar en un ambiente nuevo, compitiendo a un nivel o de una forma diferente a la que lo hacía, y me parece que el equipo está muy bien, que queremos pelear por todo lo que se pueda, ojalá pues quedar campeones, ¿por qué no? O sea, creo que siempre hay que optar por lo más alto, y bueno, yo estoy muy emocionado por esta temporada que está empezando.
Y nosotros emocionados con tenerte. Daniel, te deseamos todo el éxito en tu primera temporada. Muchas gracias por platicar con nosotros.
No, gracias a ustedes por el tiempo.
Y gracias a todos por sintonizar. Soy Samara Pérez. Nos vemos en la próxima.
Sean St. Jacques back here with you at the half between Rapids 2 and St. Louis City 2. It is 0-0 at the break here on MLSNextPro.com. University of Denver Soccer Stadium in Denver, Colorado. Let's take a look back at the first half between these two teams. Rapids 2, of course, trying to stay perfect at the beginning of this Next Pro campaign. St. Louis City 2 looking for their first victory of the campaign, trying to add on to the point they already earned on match day 1. And it really was St. Louis City 2 via press that were able to get on the front foot early on. A shot there from Owen O'Malley, skied over the bar of Marko Ilicic. That was one of the better early opportunities there. Just not called into action there. But then Rapids 2 started to get really creative in the midfield. A great cross here. It was just about dealt with. And then Flores on the recycle finds Larraz. And that was the first of two great saves from Christian Olivares in the half. Larraz was really active as well. Lovely little cutback here. Kept his run going inside of the penalty area. Crucial last-ditch defending by Fritz Volmar. Then Larraz from a set piece, and a big header from Amadou. Ended up being palmed away by Olivares. Second attempt as well, just a tick wide off the post. Second chance from Owen O'Malley was nearly a mirror image of the first attempt. He skied it over the bar and out of play. Then some good counter-attacking from the visitors. Klein in for Glover, and Glover had his shot saved by Marko Ilic. And that was the big chance for the visitors at the end of the first half. And it does remain a stalemate here in Denver. Let's take a look at the halftime match stats between these two. See their shots on target pretty even, just 2-1 in favor of Colorado Rapids 2. You can argue St. Louis City had maybe more of the opportunities, but Rapids 2 certainly had the higher quality chances in this first half. But so far, nothing to separate one of the top teams in the West from St. Louis City 2, who are trying to climb their way up towards the top half of the table. Rapids 2 trying to make it 5 wins out of 5 here today. St. Louis City 2 in search of their first win of the campaign so far. We will take a step aside here on MLSNextPro.com. Second half is coming up next here in Denver.
We're actually going to be, funny, I was down in Arizona this week. We're trying to find a lot to build. Joanna is now the incoming superintendent for Eagle Schools. So she's been the deputy for like the last 4 years. And she's taken over. So she had to sign a 5-year deal. So at the most, though, probably 5. And then we're down. It's not even just that. I mean, we were talking about it when we were up at the game yesterday night. All my buddies, they live in one time. And they're like, listen, this day and age, man, one little thing and you're going to be, they'll put you up on a freaking stage. I saw where Corey Wise, I think, we were so happy that he did that. He did the right thing. He said, and they just treat him poorly. They treat him poorly. The board is just like completely ridiculous. He's a good guy. He deserved that 800. Hope it all good, you guys well. Oh, I thought she was in here. She's based in London? Oh, I wish I would know that. Oh, my company's in London. I'm back. My company's in the UK. A little bit, about an hour outside. Is he liking it? London is good down.
Rapids Rapids 2 substitution. The second half, entering the game, number 99, Jackson Travis, replacing number 16.
Sean St. Jacques back here with you on MLSNextPro.com. 0-0 between Rapids 2 and St. Louis City 2. There was a halftime substitution for the hosts. Jackson Travis has come on to replace Alex Gersbach. It's the only change at the halftime interval. And Rapids 2 in their maroons with the blue trim will be kicking this time from left to right here on MLSNextPro.com. Trying to make it 5 wins from 5 under Eric Boucher to start this campaign off. Certainly an interesting set play at midfield to begin the second half as we await the opening goal and Rapids 2 control to restart proceedings here in Denver, Colorado. Sean St. Jacques again, happy to have you with us, part of a big Sunday slate of MLS Next Pro action. And again, just the one change, Gersbach off, Travis on for Eric Boucher's boys, while it is an unchanged side for Bobby Murphy's group at the start of the second half. 2 big saves from Christian Olivares have been the difference so far. Rapids 2 have had the better of the opportunities. St. Louis City 2 have had the more opportunities, more as far as the quantity. But Rapids 2 have had more as far as quality. That is a lunging challenge, it looks like, from Fritz Volmar. It leaves Amadou in a heap. Remy Cabral is there to help his teammate get back to his feet. I beg your pardon, Volmar actually drew the foul. So it is a free kick for St. Louis City 2. So to the outskirts of the penalty area, Batachi trying to control it. Opportunity on the far side for Larraz, who's been active. He tries to play Remy Cabral in behind, and it is going to be shepherded out by Olivares. I talked about this earlier. The result last time out for Rapids 2 was so important because it was their first clean sheet of the season. They only had one all of last year. They're on their way to another one here tonight. Can they find the finishing touches in the final third to keep their immaculate record going and take the top spot in the Western Conference going into match day 6? St. Louis City 2 have been doing this all game. Great pressure high up the field. It's one back. Kazane. Great cross into the middle. Crucial defensive work from Daniel Garcia. It deflects out for a corner for St. Louis City 2. Once again, the visitors winning the ball high up the field. Service into the penalty area couldn't have been much better. It's just the defensive work from Daniel Garcia that snuffs out the chance. What can the visitors provide from a set piece opportunity? It looks like it'll be John Klein who will take it. Klein whips in a good ball, but too close to Illich, who collects. Malone and Garcia assessing their options. Illich for Aguirre, a push and a chase, but it's cut out defensively by Schneider. Batachi. It's played all the way back in the end to Wenzel, who is on a yellow card to start this second half, and he's brought down here by Remy Cabral. Wenzel is in a heap here. In front of the visitors' technical area here. Michael Wenzel. He's able to be held back up by Owen O'Malley. Again, St. Louis City 2 looking for their first win of the season. We talked with Bobby Murphy about the slow start, their head coach. He just talked about preseason went well. He said the results don't really do us justice. It's about focusing on the process. To the times we've gone into games with bad poker hands. And when you get dealt bad hands, sometimes you have to fold some, and our guys just need to improve their decision making at times on the pitch. That was a good decision to pass it all the way over to Glover, who was coming in from behind. His service in was good. It's cleared out for a corner for St. Louis City 2. Lovely ball in behind by Max Schneider. Glover touches it exactly where you're told to do so. Good clearance on the backside by Malone. And Batacci and company have a set piece opportunity here. From the ensuing corner. Great arc on the ball. Again, Schneider was in the area. And again, it's an ambitious effort from well outside of the penalty area. And the attack fizzles out. Just to finish the point that Bobby Murphy shared with us. And just about better decision making in general. Said the other thing that's been interesting to watch as well has been the challenge when it comes to the standards and the culture needing to stay the same throughout the organization. So got to hold some of the younger guys accountable. That's why we've had some good veterans step up. He mentioned Batacci by name as one of those guys able to do that. Batacci coming in, of course, from Queen's Park Rangers in England. As Rapids 2 are going to make another change here. Logan Batiste is going to come on, and that's going to be the end of the game for Steve Flores. It's a like-for-like change at the back for Eric Boucher's bunch. They've made both changes of the game so far. One thing that Bobby Murphy talked about that was helpful to bring the group together, though, was quiz games that his side have been able to put together, him and his coaching staff, I really should say. So we've been kind of gearing it to allow different players to shine. Whether it's putting in questions that we know that certain guys would know the answer to, playing to the backgrounds and experiences of some of the guys, and it's really been helping behind the scenes bring the group together with so many moving parts. I actually mentioned at one point that while they were on one of their road trips, they did some Peter Pan putt-putt golf that really got the competitive juices flowing. And just talked about how all the guys have value, just they need that light to shine in. It was such a cool thing to hear. It's been something that they've been using to help deal with the early parts of the season, but also bring the group together and help from a development side of the game. And the player that went down earlier, Michael Wenzel, also got a shout out from Bobby Murphy. So he was one of the players that stood out so far this season. And John Klein is again surging forward. Looping cross over the top. Maybe a chance for Kazane to save it. He does. O'Malley. And then it's sent back by Batacci. Schneider plays it back. Volmar sees Rivas. Ball's threaded through by Palazzolo. Tried to win it back. O'Malley finds him on this far side. O'Malley's pass, though, is picked off by Amadou. Chance here for Miller. Miller's pass is picked off. Well, Rapids 2 again have had the better of proceedings, certainly as far as the quality chances, but St. Louis City 2 with their press and with their quantity of chances have kept themselves around in the game. Of course, earlier this weekend, we saw Real Monarchs stay in the game against North Texas. They were under a ton of pressure throughout the night, didn't concede, and they scored a magical stoppage time goal to win the game in the final minutes. Was that a handball on the edge of the penalty area? Yes, it was. Corbin May gives a free kick. So St. Louis City 2 get a set piece opportunity here, 10 minutes into the start of the second half. It's a pretty advantageous position for the visitors here. Schneider stands over along with Kazane. This appears to be goal bound, you would think. Illich will have to be ready here. Schneider's a great striker of the ball. We've seen good stuff from Kazane. It's left for Schneider. It's a decent effort, and it just sneaks over the crossbar. I think Illich may have gotten a touch to that. Worth another look. Good bend and curl on it. Ooh, did he get a touch to that? St. Louis City 2 were asking the questions. The referee said he did. It is a corner. That replay look, it was close, tough to tell if he did get a touch onto it. It was gonna go over anyway, despite being a good strike from Max Schneider. Klein will take the corner. Klein goes near post, and at the back post, it's nearly smuggled in, but Illich stops the attempt. Palazzolo at the back post nearly sneaks it in. More good service from Klein on the set piece. Maybe flicked on initially by Glover, and then it was Palazzolo sweeping in at the back post. Corner from the opposite end. Chipped in towards Glover, and he just couldn't quite size it up on that occasion. And it's out for a goal kick. Illich wastes no time in taking it. Ball does go out of play. Not sure if a whistle went there. It might have. And it is going to be brought back, it appears. Illich is able to retake the goal kick. And we're back in play. Rapids 2 on it. Cabral had it played behind him. Sees Owen O'Malley. Wenzel for Volmar. Lovely pass from Volmar, splitting through a couple of defenders. Itachi had some good skill, but he gives it away. And good help from Max Schneider. Quick recovery of the ball has been the name of the game for Bobby Murphy's group through nearly an hour of play. Wenzel. And O'Malley is going to run out of room. Larraz is able to win the throw. Great first half from him. Oliver Larraz had two of the better opportunities that the hosts were able to conjure up. Denied once by Olivares, and then another time by Volmar on a last-ditch effort as the aforementioned Christian Olivares comes down with the ball here. Next slate of games have already kicked off. FC Cincinnati 2 trailing at home against SKC 2 by a goal to nil. Scoreless between Huntsville and Inter Miami 2. Orlando City B, what a start to the season they've had. It's 0-0 between them and NYCFC 2. Still awaiting the opening breakthrough in this game as well. It hasn't been for a lack of chances. Make no mistake about that. I think sometimes people tune in late to a 0-0 and they think nothing's happened. That's not always the case. This game certainly wouldn't fit into that category. There's been really good opportunities for both teams, especially for Rapids too. It's a free kick here. Kazane for Glover. And it's going to go the other way. Glover follows through, and it is a free kick. This portion of the match is brought to you by UC Health, with personalized care and locations across Colorado. UC Health is here for you no matter where your story takes you. UC Health, live extraordinary. Denver, Colorado is the site for this one. University of Denver Soccer Stadium. And now Rapids 2 are on the attack here in transition. Mitchell stopped by Olivares. Mitchell again. Did it trickle out for a corner? Not quite sure. I think it is going to be a set piece here for Rapids 2. They worked so quickly there in transition. Larraz with a beautiful ball through for Paris Mitchell. And Mitchell's denied by Olivares. It's a wonderful 1v1 save. His third big stop of the night.
Rapids 2 substitutions in the 61st minute entering the game.
There's a couple of saves, or I should say a substitution is coming here. Cabral is going to exit for Colorado Rapids 2.
Rapids 2, number 71, Dylan Serna.
Does look like Kaiki DeBrito is coming on, as is Dylan Serna. Great sight for him. He's been dealing with so many injuries. We weren't expecting him to even be in the squad today, the midfielder, but in he comes. Great to see that. So Serna in for Larraz. Cabral is out, and DeBrito is in. So two changes for Rapids 2 there. Serna comes in off the bench to take the corner. It's a chance at the back post for Miller here. Miller is swarmed. Amadou trying to lace it back in. It's still a chance here for Miller. Did it go out of play? St. Louis City 2 appeal, and that's exactly what happened. It's a goal kick. Dylan Serna has bounced around at times, even in the USL Championship. He used to play for Brendan Burke, now the Houston Dynamo assistant with MLS. With Colorado Springs Switchbacks, always showed so much promise. And now here with Rapids 2, just hadn't got going because of injuries. But boy, are we glad to see him back on the pitch. Has so much talent and can bring so much to this Rapids 2 team, who've already been off to a good start without him. And Eric Boucher gets to use him here in the latter stages to try to get his team a 5th win out of 5 at the start of this campaign. Great story for Rapids 2 there. Story for St. Louis City 2 has been the press has been great. It's led to a bunch of chances. And Christian Olivares has kept them in the game with 3 crucial saves. There's a pile up there behind the play. Serna stays with it. And then a challenge there, dragged down on Schneider. Leads to a free kick. Bensel will take the free kick. And the substitutions came in, and now it's been a bit stop-start, but Rapids 2 with a huge opportunity. Mitchell basically one-on-one with Olivares, and as he's done all game, Christian Olivares snuffs out the chance. I'm not sure what the referee did take there from Fritz Volmar. Not sure exactly what happened, but we play on. The 26 minutes of the 90 still to go. Well, it's headed down by Klein. Rivas And Klein sends it all the way back to Volmar. Back into the path of Rivas, but only for a moment, as Garcia shepherds it out for a goal kick. Ball is played forward. A collision there. Oh, it is going to be a yellow card here for Max Schneider for the challenge. And it is going to be a set piece opportunity for Rapids 2. Another look. It was touched back initially, and then it was the push there. Schneider pushing Miller in the back. That was what the bookable offense ended up being. Well spotted by the referee. And now St. Louis City 2 is going to make their first change. Aziel Jackson is going to come on. And Caden Glover, we're told, is going to leave us here. Jackson's had some really good spells so far this season as well. Bobby Murphy really had some nice words about him in our media availability with the head coach this week. Can Jackson be a game changer here in Colorado? First though, some defending to do for the visitors as Cerna takes the free kick. He struck for goal. In the end it was blocked. The ball did its job there for St. Louis City 2. Not sure they were expecting him to shoot. It was not a bad effort. Olivares clears the lines. Klein ends up sending it back nicely for Illich.
A yellow card is issued to St. Louis City 2, 66th minute to number 44.
Aguirre pressured by Klein. All the way back for Illich. Amadou forced back. It's a battle for it in that midfield. Amadou and company win a free kick. This portion of the match is brought to you by Toyota. Let's go places. And Miller stays down at the tail end of that play. It's getting a little physical in this second half. Travis was involved with that wild scrum that broke out. Nobody could quite get the ball. There has been some slipping and sliding at times today. That's definitely worth noting here in Denver. Now the concern is on Connor Miller, who's going to need to see some medical attention here. And Miller's been a big part of this midfield today for Colorado Rapids 2. This would be a tough one to see if he has to come off. He's able to get back up to his feet. Eric Boucher is talking a little bit of strategy on the sideline with, at least initially, with his staff, as Miller will have to head to the touchline to be looked after further. So Rapids 2 for a little bit here are going to be down to 10. While Miller is looked after. We'll see if that plays any role here. Owen O'Malley picks off the initial pass. Keep an eye on Miller. Play will continue for now. Again, Rapids 2 are down a man for the time being. As Miller continues to get some medical attention in front of his own bench. Palazzolo, beg your pardon, finds Rivas. Chance for Jackson here. Jackson spraying a ball out to the far side. Poor first touch, but Travis couldn't quite corral it. And it stays with St. Louis City 2. Best chance of the second half came for Rapids 2 from Paris Mitchell, who just couldn't beat Olivares on a 1v1 opportunity on the counterattack. It was Larraz with a lovely ball in behind. And with 20 minutes left here on MLSNextPro.com. The words "kicks from the spot" are starting to come up in the back of everyone's mind, I would think, but there's still time for late magic to occur. Baracci providing some late magic there. He couldn't find Jackson before Illich got in his way. Lovely skill to weave the ball through into the penalty area. Marco Illich showing you how active and alert he was in that moment. He's able to stop any further action. Rivas for Schneider. He's on a yellow card. Zane and Wenzel are as well for St. Louis City 2. It's just Amadou now for Rapids 2 after Gersbach was substituted off. But you never know. Keep those things in mind, especially at this stage of the game. Ball in behind for Klein. Couldn't keep it in play. And Rapids 2 regained possession. Other games kicking off later on tonight. Dynamo Dos hosting Tacoma. It's going to be a really fun one. In Texas, Los Dos against Austin FC2, who are currently at the top of the Western Conference. Although if Rapids 2 win here, they will take over the top spot. Timbers 2 against LAFC 2 at 8 o'clock. And then the nightcap is a good one. Whitecaps 2 against Minnesota United FC 2. All finishing off a really fun weekend of MLS Next Pro action. Already had some drama in Arlington on Friday. Had some great stuff from New York Red Bulls 2 in New England, no less. That same day, big win for Atlanta United 2 last night. This is St. Louis City 2 back on the attack. It falls for Schneider. Schneider leaves it. Chance to run onto it for O'Malley. Great cross, and it needs to be chested out of play for a corner by Batiste. Good interplay around the final third for Bobby Murphy's group. Corner kick up coming for the visitors. Just to finish up the quick scoreboard around the league, Crown Legacy beat Crew 2 earlier today by a 0-0. Philadelphia Union 2 and TFC 2 finished 3-3, with the hosts winning on kicks from the spot to take 2 points out of that encounter. That was a wild affair, for sure. We're hoping for some late drama here. Klein's ball in. Falls for a chance, and the shot from Batachi is blocked. Can Rapids 2 roar forward? They can't. It falls for Klein again. Klein leaves it for Rivas, and Rivas's cross is blocked, and then it is cleared out of the penalty area. After we saw Rapids 2 put together some good opportunities, now the visitors trying to build some late momentum here in Denver. Palazzolo playing it out wide. O'Malley, great service from him just a moment ago into the center of the penalty area. Schneider forces Romar a bit further back. Rivas plays it centrally. Bobby Murphy's side find their first win of the campaign and end The perfect run that Rapids 2 have had to start the season, trying to go for 5 wins out of 5. Nice turn by Jackson. Klein wanted it. Jackson keeps on running with it. Plays it out wide. Batachi shoots, and it's a good save from Illich. Klein was lurking. Clean save from the Rapids 2 goalkeeper. Great run initially by Isiel Jackson. More encouraging play from the visitors. And Marko Illich called upon. Makes a very clean and comfortable save when it could have been a lot more difficult. Mitchell with some lovely skill in the meantime. He's brought down. It is a foul and a free kick. This portion of the match is brought to you by Dick's Sporting Goods. Every season starts at Dick's. "15 minutes left here in Denver. After a good St. Louis City 2 flurry, can the Rapids 2 find a response and the opening goal, more importantly? They have been just about the better of the two sides today, but it's evening out. Batiste trying to send the ball in behind. Not if Volmar has anything to say about it. Batiste gets it back. Finds Amadou. It'll be a reset for Garcia.
Keeping the ginger hair just for that trick.
Schneider, pressured by Miller. Good to see him back on the pitch as he returns after getting looked at on the sideline. The off-the-field treatment rule playing a good role there. Rapids 2 do well, by the way, to hold it firm without him on the pitch. And we play on with him now. 11 v 11, Rivas. Palazzolo. Rivas again. Central for Klein. Out wide by Volmar. St. Louis City 2 trying to build on this recent vein of momentum. O'Malley. Ooh, an extra push out from O'Malley as he was dragged down. He wins the free kick. The yellow card is going to be given. O'Malley pushing out there, though, certainly didn't help the situation. There is a booking for Paris Mitchell in the end, and rightfully so, but O'Malley's got to keep his cool there. There's no need for that extra push out. He could have gotten himself in a bit of trouble for retaliation there. In the end, gets the benefit of the doubt from Corbin May, our center official. He's done a great job so far tonight. And it is a set-piece opportunity for the visitors. Three men over it. Klein hooks it for Jackson. Jackson's ball in, and it trickles out of play. Out for a goal kick. Play is stopped on this near side. Rivas involved with Mitchell. St. Louis City 2 are going to make some changes here. 3 players are going to come off. Batachi is one of them, as is Palazzolo. Sergio Rivas is going to come off as well. The 3 men coming on are Riley Gibbs, Makai Joyner, and Ezra Armstrong. So again, it's a triple change. Rivas, Palazzolo, and Batachi are off. Gibbs, Armstrong, and Makai Joyner are all on now for Bobby Murphy's group with 11 minutes of the 90 left. Trying to make a difference here, get their team their first victory of the season. Rapids 2 have other ideas. Ball is threaded through. It's cleared out of play. It's a throw-in for the hosts. Good shift in particular from Isil Betachi. It comes off for Bobby Murphy's group. A lot of promise in a player like Makai Joyner. Could certainly have quite a bright future ahead of him. Interesting to see how he does in these latter stages as Miller shrugs off 2 challenges, pokes it out wide. Cerna blocked by Oliveris, another big save from the goalkeeper, and then Cerna on the upending commits a foul, and it's a free kick for St. Louis City 2. Venomous strike from the substitute Dylan Cerna. Great run initially by Miller. Strike was low and hard. Really good save again by Oliveris, his 4th big save of the night. And with 10 minutes left, it still stays scoreless. And again, if it stays like this, we will go to kicks from the spot. Both teams will gain a point and play for an additional point in the shootout. We still have some time left to decide if we're going to go to that or not. Miller just gets the ball away in time. Held up nicely by DeBrito. And again, the pass is cut out. This is Armstrong, the substitute. Klein is in support. Armstrong continues his run. Lovely give and go. Armstrong's ball into the middle. Needed a touch. It is deflected out for a corner. Big play there from Blake Malone with 1 or 2 white shirts lurking behind him. St. Louis City 2 stay on the front foot. Once again, John Klein will take over this set-piece opportunity for St. Louis City 2. Klein headed away before it could get to Illich. It's going to trickle out of play, throw in for the visitors. St. Louis City 2 were shut out in their last game against Austin FC 2, but in the 3 prior, they've always found a way to score a goal. Of course, Colorado Rapids 2, as you might expect, scored multiple goals in every game this season. They've not been shut out. They've not even been held to just the 1 goal in their 4 wins. Could that be an omen of things to come in the last 8 minutes? Volmar out wide. Armstrong slips. Miller takes advantage. Chance now for Mitchell. The attack nearly breaks down, but T saves it for Miller. Nice move there from Aguirre. Aguirre is stood out and stood up. Schneider goes the other way. Jackson plays it down the line for Klein. John Klein into the middle. Oh, it flashes across the face of goal. Nobody gets a touch to it. Out it goes for a throw-in to Rapids 2. Great build-up play there. Klein's ball was where it needed to be. Nobody could get on the end of it for either side in the end. Players for both teams went for it. And it does go out of play for a Rapids 2 throw with 7 minutes of the 90 still to go. St. Louis City 2 did make a change there while there was a brief moment. Larson Hackworth has come in. And Juan Kazane exits. It's a like-for-like switch. Hackworth comes on. St. Louis City 2, another roll of the dice off the bench here. That is their 5th change of the game. Rapids 2 have made 4. Any of these fresh legs provide the difference. Rapids 2's perfect start is on the line. St. Louis City 2 trying to really vault up the table with 3 big points. Max Schneider is brought down. That's a free kick. And St. Louis City 2 can come up with something here from a set piece. Jackson will take it. Playing it for Armstrong. The 2 substitutes connect. Ball into the middle, too close to Marco Ilic. Rapids 2 trying desperately to break, but St. Louis City 2 do well to get players behind the ball, but they do concede. The free kick, Klein might have been rolled over on there. He's holding his ankle.
Rapids 2 substitution in the 86th minute. Entering the game,
Rapids 2 are going to make a change here.
Replacing number 40, Robinson
Keith Chavarria is going to come on. And Robinson Aguirre is going to come off. So again, Aguirre off. Keith Chavarria is on. Another like-for-like substitution in the midfield for Rapids 2. That's their 5th change of the match. Travis sees it trickle out of play. They do get a little bit closer now to potentially having kicks from the spot. I beg your pardon, it is a free kick. St. Louis City 2 get to reset it here. O'Malley sends it forward. It's blocked immediately. Now they'll get the throw in the end. And we will have kicks from the spot right after the game is over if it stays like this. And again, for those new to the league, 1 point each automatically after a draw. And the kicks from the spot will determine who gains an additional point and leaves with 2 points from the match. Of course, a draw would keep Colorado Rapids 2 unbeaten, but it would end their perfect run to start the season. It would put them level with Austin FC 2 at the top of the Western Conference, pending their game later on tonight. They are away at Los Dos, kicking off in about 12 minutes. That was Gibbs initially for St. Louis City 2. It's sent upfield. Good battle for it in the midfield on 2 occasions, and Rapids 2 are stopped in their tracks there. Marcin Hackworth with a professional foul. He's booked. Grabbing the shirt back there with a potential counterattack on for the hosts. Can one of these 2 sides find a late winning goal and snatch all 3 points? That's the big question right now. Is lofted over the top. There's a brief chance for Mitchell to keep it in. He takes advantage of that. Ball rolls out of play. Rapids 2 throw. They get on with it quickly. To Brito, trying to keep it alive. O'Malley clears it off of him. It's a goal kick. Brito a bit frustrated there. Owen O'Malley ends up doing rather well there for the visitors. It'll likely take us into the 90th minute.
Was that it?
No, it was no, it was ballerina.
Is that good? I would like to see it. Yeah, I'd really see it.
Falls here for Jackson. Is that a foul? Yes, it is. It's a free kick for St. Louis City 2 in a good position. Won by the substitute, Makai Joyner. A late set piece opportunity. We've already had some free kick drama this weekend with Real Monarchs stealing the points at North Texas with a 94th minute winner.
I need to play sports. Yeah, at the gym, I really do.
Max Schneider had a good free kick opportunity earlier from a pretty similar position, nearly identical
No, yeah, I'm the same.
to where he hit the last one, and that one was touched over by Illich. Can he give St. Louis City 2 the lead as we enter injury time? 3 added minutes are on. Schneider plays it short for Klein, trying to thread it through for Jackson. And it's whipped back in by Schneider, but it goes wide of the goal. Bobby Murphy and his staff drew that one up right off the training ground. It was the right idea. Jackson would have been through if Klein's ball could get there, but it's well closed down by Rapids 2 in the end. And the shot from Schneider on the second attempt goes wide of the goal. Illich sends it forward. Can Rapids 2 now create an opportunity to snatch all 3 points, to keep their perfect season afloat? Cerna on the far side, runs out of room, gets a throw in. St. Louis City 2 stopped to protest it, I believe. I think the referee's going to keep it, just said the throw in was taken from the wrong spot. Jackson Travis will take the throw in. We've played a minute of the minimum of 3 added on. DeBrito dispossessed. It's one back though. Rapids 2 with a chance. Oh, it's a venomous effort from some distance that strikes the crossbar. Amadou keeps it alive. Miller to win it, and he sends it over the bar. A jaw-dropping strike from maybe 40 yards out. It's a missile. Goalkeeper Olivares couldn't keep it, or I should say couldn't hold it. I'm not even sure he got a touch to it. And then Miller tries to snatch all 3 points, and he sends it over the bar. A late Rapids 2 rally nearly leads to the winning goal. And we enter the final 50 seconds of injury time. Ball is headed through for Klein, too close to Illich. Well, it ended up just being a situation of, well, I'm just gonna hit it, why not try it? Best thing that could happen is it goes in, and it nearly did go in. Jackson. Is there one last twist to this tale? He's dispossessed. Batiste does his job. St. Louis City 2 regained possession. And then Miller is able to slow things down for a moment. There's still maybe time for one last moment. That pass is cut out. St. Louis City 2, do they have enough time here? We've had the 3 added minutes. Played out wide by Schneider. O'Malley into the middle. Scooped up brilliantly by Illich. And that is that. It finishes 0-0 in normal time. Eric Boucher's group come a whisker away from a miraculous late winning goal here. Christian Olivares with some big saves throughout. I don't think he got a touch on the last one there, but he's the big reason why St. Louis City 2 stayed on level terms throughout. And we will go to a kicks from the spot scenario to decide who will leave Denver with 2 points in the bag. Well, it was a game that really ebbed and flowed throughout. In the end, the fans were treated to quite a finish to this game. In the end, it finishes 0-0 between these two, and we will have kicks from the spot Tough luck for Rapids, too. They will not keep their perfect season afloat. They're still unbeaten, of course. Now we go to kicks from the spot. It's a well-earned point for Bobby Murphy's crew. They're going to try and turn it into 2, of course. A game that really had its ups and downs throughout. I think Rapids, too, would argue they had the better of the opportunities throughout the game. Maybe in the end edged it in total opportunities as well. In the end, nothing could decide them. And we will go to kicks from the spot. In some ways, it's fitting. Marco Ilic and especially Christian Olivares have been 2 of the stars in this game today. Olivares in particular has bailed his side out on multiple occasions. They will be called upon once more to try and save the penalties to keep for Rapids 2 their unbeaten record alive in general. Of course, again, because of the draw, that'll stay afloat. They get the point. What's on the line for the host on top of that is if they get an additional point, would put them at the top of the table ahead of Austin before they play later on tonight against Los Dos. It won't be the first win of the season for St. Louis City 2, but they do get their second point. Chance to add another one on top of that. Be fair to Bobby Murphy's side. They got a draw against Tacoma. They did lose on kicks from the spot, but now they get one here in Denver. The 2 results they have gotten this year have been rather impressive. And Bobby Murphy told us earlier this week the results have not been the full indication of our group as a whole. That certainly showed today. Now they have a chance here in kicks from the spot to grab 2 points here. One of the tougher away trips in the Western Conference to go to Denver and get a result. Have to see where we're going to take the penalties. I think the referee just pointed to the left end of the pitch. St. Louis City 2 are ready to go. Just awaiting Rapids 2 here. As this game, I should say, finished 0-0. So both teams get a point. This is for an additional point on the tally. Again, it could be a very important point for both. Again, St. Louis City 2 getting their second result of the season. It's a huge day already for them. For Rapids 2, it's a chance to go joint top of the table. They can grab an additional point here. 2 great goalkeepers will contest in this shootout. Olivares has been Christian on the spot so far today for St. Louis City 2. And he will be the one to try and save the first penalty. Dylan Cerna. He's going to take the first spot kick in the shootout for Colorado Rapids 2. And he Panenkas it right down the middle for starters. All around World Soccer of late, those have not gone very well. Cool, calm and composed though from Dylan Cerna. Great for him. 1-0 Rapids 2 in the shootout, and Max Schneider is next.
Kicking first for St. Louis City 2, number 44, Max Schneider.
Can Schneider level the scores here in the first round of penalties? Marco Ilic, who made a few saves today. Can he give Rapids 2 an early advantage in this spot kick scenario here? Schneider has played very well today. He's come close to scoring in the match. And in the shootout, he scores. And it's 1 each after 1 penalty each. 2 very cool, calm, and composed spot kicks.
Second for Rapids 2, number 44, Kayaki DeBrito.
Rapids 2 will go to their bench next. DeBrito, he's going to take the next penalty. 1-1 in the shootout after it was 0-0 at the end of 90 minutes. Can DeBrito, the substitute, come off the bench and score from the penalty spot here in the shootout? The answer is no. Olivares denies him. Christian Olivares comes up with another big save. And now St. Louis City 2 have a big chance to take control of the shootout. Once again, Christian Olivares comes up trumps for the visitors, and John Klein is next. Huge early moment here in this penalty kick shootout. Klein scores, and St. Louis City 2 have the advantage. They're 2-1 up after 2 penalties each. And the pressure is on Colorado Rapids 2 here. Daniel Garcia is going to take the next one from the spot.
Number 54, Daniel Garcia.
It's a penalty that Eric Boucher's boys almost have to have at this stage in the shootout. Garcia's been one of the bright spots this season for Rapids 2. Can he level the shootout? He can. He sticks it right in the corner. Can't take them much better than that. Garcia levels the shootout at 2 apiece, but St. Louis City 2 have that crucial penalty in hand. ICL Jackson, the substitute, is going to come on and take St. Louis City 2's 3rd penalty. And he put Bobby Murphy's group back in front. Jackson scores. It's another brilliant penalty. He sends Illich the wrong way. And the visitors are 3-2 up. Jackson rubs a bit of salt there after the penalty was converted. And the pressure goes back on the hosts here. Paris Mitchell is next for Rapids 2. Again, it's a spot kick that the hosts basically have to have at this point. And they're going to need Marco Illich to then bail them out with a save on one of the future penalties to be taken. But here's Mitchell. Can he level the shootout once more? Couple of hesitations, and Olivares gets a big hand to it, but he can't keep it out. It's 3 each. Well, I think a few Rapids 2 supporters' hearts skipped a beat there. All that it matters is that it went in, and it's 3-3. Michael Wenzel, he's the next penalty taker. Wenzel's had a good game today. Bobby Murphy has waxed lyrical about his impact on this team so far this season. Can he put St. Louis City 2 on the brink here in kicks from the mark? Wenzel for the visitors, slots it in, 4-3. And St. Louis City 2 are on the verge. Rapids 2 now have to score to keep this going. And it is going to be Doda Amadou who's going to be tasked with making this crucial spot kick.
Number 45, Doda Amadou.
Amadou has had a very strong performance today. Has to score for Rapids 2 to keep the match going. Amadou for Rapids 2. Scores. Great penalty. Great penalty from Amadou. It's 4-4. And now St. Louis City 2 can score to win and gain an additional point. It's going to be Owen O'Malley who's going to take the penalty. He's missed a couple of chances today in open play. Can he deliver the decisive blow here and give St. Louis City 2 2 crucial road points? It's O'Malley. And it's saved by Illich! When they needed him most, Marco Illich comes up with the goods. It's 4-4, and we go on. Well, Marko Ilic had not come close to any of the previous penalties. He gets that one spot on. And we go to a fifth round, beg your pardon, a sixth round of penalties. 4-4, we go to sudden death. Connor Miller is first for Rapids 2. And he blazes it over the top. Miller misses. And St. Louis City 2 get a second chance to win. Oh, you feel for Connor Miller. He's had such a good game. Couldn't convert it. And now another opportunity for the visitors here. Makai Joyner, the substitute, with a chance to win the shootout and give St. Louis City 2 an additional point. Joyner scores! Second time's the charm for St. Louis City 2. They win it 5-4 on penalties. They lead Denver with 2 points in the bag. It's arguably their best result of the season so far. They move up to 3 points overall. Colorado Rapids 2 have been perfect coming into the match. They do get a point, but St. Louis City 2 leave as shootout winners after it finished 0-0 after 90 minutes. Well, what an encounter to finish this game off. St. Louis City 2 needed 2 opportunities from the spot to win it. Give credit to Marko Ilic for keeping it going. But in the end, it ends up being Makai Joyner who wins the shootout for St. Louis City 2. And he is our man of the match, brought to you by Adidas. Got to keep your nerve in these big situations. That's exactly what Makai Joyner does here. A moment required. Joyner delivers in the big moment. He celebrates at Colorado Rapids 2's expense. And in the end, St. Louis City 2 lead with 2 very, very valuable road points here in Denver. Tough one for Rapids 2 to take. First time they've lost anything this season, shootout or otherwise. They do leave with a point, and will still be in Austin FC 2's hands later on tonight to stay in first place in the West. Fun encounter here in Denver, thanks to our entire crew. In the end, it finished 0-0 between Rapids 2 and St. Louis City 2. And on penalties, it was St. Louis City 2 who won it 5-4. Crucial late conversion from Makai Joyner after big saves from Christian Oliveras. And St. Louis City 2 leave with 2 points. Thanks for joining us here on MLSNextPro.com.
This copyrighted broadcast of MLS Next Pro may not be retransmitted, reproduced, or rebroadcasted without the express written consent of Major League Soccer.